Hello and welcome to Fifth and Grace. Today we're going to explore something that a lot of people are talking about right now, and that is whether or not the Bidens were actually trying to sabotage Kamala. There's a lot of things being said. There's a lot of interesting things I've noticed as well that had me thinking, that's quite curious, isn't it? Because there were some behaviors and moments that really didn't seem to align with the Democrat. Are they called the Democratic Party? The Democrat Party? I can't even remember. That just didn't align with that, and especially at a time during an election when many would say that Kamala needed Joe Biden's support more than ever. I have heard that he couldn't stand her, no matter what he says about her and the lovely things that he says about being a ramrod. I don't know what that was. If you haven't seen his speech the day after the election, go watch it. That was really interesting too. But the ramrod thing, I was like, that was an interesting word to use. But before we begin this reading, so we are going to use the What Lies Beneath Oracle deck just to see what comes out. I do have a couple other tools here that I might bring out. We'll see how that goes. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about my video where I asked the question, why did the psychics and the mystics and the readers not see the landslide that would happen with Donald Trump? And it was really, really curious. I deleted a bunch of comments from people who obviously didn't listen to what I was saying. They just saw the headline and went on the attack. So bye-bye. Those comments are gone. Any comments that are actually to do with any video that I post, they will stay. If you're off in the bushes and I don't even know what you're talking about, I'm probably going to delete your comment. Unless you're like asking a real question. Like, you can always tell the trolls from real people asking real questions. So yes, I did delete a couple comments because they weren't about the topic. They just were attacking, and it was obviously upset voters going on the attack. So the question wasn't the question on the tarot table that day was not, did Donald Trump steal the election? It was, why did the psychics not see it? And I gave a very thought out, logical explanation that other top readers, professionals, not the scammers that you see all over the place, but actual real mystics and psychics and readers, were all kind of saying the same thing. So go back and listen to that. You feel free to comment with your thoughts on that video, on the topic of that video. But if you're going to go on the attack about either candidate, your comments will be deleted. So one of the big things that has been discussed over the last week is, because this is a week after the election, is how quickly timelines can shift. And that's what I actually believe happened. We didn't see it because the timeline shifted very dramatically and quickly on Tuesday. And so anybody who was reading leading up to that, I think I did my reading about who will win on Sunday or Monday, the day before the election, or the day before the election. I can't remember. I think it was the day before. But I did that reading, and we were still in the like Kamala timeline. But then all of a sudden the timeline shifts, and now we're in the Donald Trump timeline. And so many people have said things just randomly out loud, like people who aren't even mystics, people who don't even believe in this stuff in my life, have said to me, I just feel like everything shifted all of a sudden. It's like, yeah, we all kind of felt it. And in fact, a reader that I follow, she said that, she felt like it was going to be Kamala, or like too close. It was going to be quite close. And that over her house, all of a sudden the sky turned orange. And she was like, whoa. I think something's happening here. And if you think that timelines can't shift that fast, I grew up always being told that you can change your destiny by missing a bus. And I truly believe that. I believe that we have our predestined, pre-written contracts and all that sort of thing, but we also have free will. So we can change things anytime we want. And we don't necessarily know what we're changing. It's sort of like that movie about the butterfly, like a butterfly's wings can cause a tsunami somewhere else. So that is that kind of the kind of thing. It's a little deeper. I have experienced a timeline shift. I was sitting on a beach with a friend. It was actually our friend Caitlin, who I do a podcast style show here with. And I was sitting on the beach with her and I was getting rained on and she was not. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think I slipped into a different timeline for a moment there because I got rained on. And she's like, what's going on? Like, it's not raining where I am sitting 6 inches from you. So it can happen. It can really, really happen so easily. So that is something to ponder is, timeline shifting and things like that. And we don't really necessarily get to control that. I did see a reader who was exceptionally upset about the results of the election. And she admitted that perhaps she wanted Kamala to win so bad that she actually refused to see anything else. And I do have some respect for that because she came out and she was being honest with her followers and the people who pay her for information. And I really feel that if you can't be neutral on a topic, if you're so emotionally invested in a topic, you probably shouldn't be reading on it because it's so hard to stay neutral. This is why I always say, I don't trust any reader who tells me they can read for themselves because they're so invested, they're so emotionally invested that they will twist anything to make it mean something that they want it to mean. So even as a reader myself, when I want a reading about me and what's going on in my life, I go to somebody else. I don't read for myself. Sure, I pull cards every day and whatever, but I don't take it as seriously as I would take somebody else seriously, simply because I know when I pull a card for myself, if I don't like it, I just throw it away and then pull the next card. Right? So yeah, we want people to give us real information. There was a comment left that people did see Trump winning, but didn't say it. And they said, the cards don't lie, but people do. And I thought that was a really interesting comment because I'm sure there are readers who maybe did see that Trump would win in a landslide. And instead, what they said was it was too close or it would be Kamala winning. And if that is the case, you need to understand that they lied. And that's an ethical territory worth pondering. We should all be pondering that ethical territory. I would never lie to a client. If I see something, I'm going to tell them. If you hire me and I see something, no matter how unpleasant it is, I'm going to tell you. Because if I tell you everything's going to be hunky-dory, tickety-boo, you're going to be just fine, and then for the next year, you're literally in hell, you're going to be wondering why I didn't see that. And if I said to you, oh, I saw it, I just didn't tell you, how would you feel? Would that be cool? No. You'd be like, why did you lie to me? Why did you withhold that information? I don't gatekeep information. So it's quite disappointing that there are readers who did. And if they chose to post videos that included a lie. They could have said nothing. Because sometimes when I do reading, I always pre-record my readings, just because it's just easier that way. Then I can schedule them. I've got my whole week planned. But if I'm doing a reading and it's not unfolding in a I don't want to say in a positive, in an authentic way, I won't post it. I'll just delete it and not post it. I'll be like, you know what? This spirit doesn't want me to talk about this today. We'll try this topic another day. Right? So there's definitely things that readers can do besides post lies. And I'm not saying every reader lied. I'm just saying that if one person came to me and said, I saw it, but I just didn't say it. It's like, well, if you're posting videos and you're saying something other than what you're seeing, that's not cool. That's really not cool at all. And I can understand that people would be afraid to say that Trump would win. Yeah. I mean, I've seen how Kamala supporters react when they hear something they don't like, and it's unfortunate. So here's a question for you to ponder. Am I a safe person to be honest with? If we want people to be honest with us, we can't go on the attack when they do just that, when they are honest. Sometimes the truth is not pleasant. Sometimes the truth is not what we want to hear. I've had my ass handed to me by readers and psychics, and it wasn't cute, but it was what I needed to hear. When I look back now, I have immense gratitude for the people who handed me the ugly truth, because it helped me more than lying to me. So let's keep that in mind. And now we're going to return to Joe Biden. All right, so here's some things that have gone on. And I'm very curious about them. They've been weighing on my mind for the last week. And I haven't done this reading earlier simply because I've just been so busy. I haven't had a chance to sit down. The last few days have been crazy. And because of Remembrance Holiday and services, in case you're new here, I'm a minister, so I was doing services. My son is a piper. He was, doing laments at services. So we've had a busy few days running around. And now it is Tuesday, the 12th of November, and I'm finally back at my tarot table. Yay! So if you have hung in this long, I thank you. I so appreciate you. And the things that we have kind of piqued my interest in the whole Biden-Harris situation. There was the MAGA hat that he wore, and then there was a video of him getting on his plane, and he still had the hat. The MAGA hat, which I thought was very curious. I thought that was quite interesting. Jill Biden, when she went to the polling station to vote, she wore a red suit. And people would be like, whatever, maybe she likes red. Yeah, but it's called branding. And top people in the country, like the Bidens, would have people helping them, coaching them, advising them on branding, what colors to wear. If you think that doesn't exist, look at Kate Middleton and William, what are they? The Prince and Princess of Wales. Look at how they dress. They're all on brand. Always. They're always on brand for their colors, the colors that represent the crown. Their children are even, and it's always perfectly done. So that is branding. Even small businesses, I know moms who run their business, their small home business from their dining table with their babies playing at their feet, and they understand branding. Colors matter. Colors send a message. There's color psychology, there's the energy and frequencies of colors, but most importantly, we associate colors with very specific things. The color red is associated with the Republican Party. Why would she wear red to vote? I thought that was very interesting. So we're gonna see what comes out there. Then there was the moment that Joe Biden called his Trump supporters garbage. Now, is he entitled to do that? Is he entitled to his thoughts and beliefs and everything? Yes, of course he is. I think the problem here is that he's the president of the United States, and he just called half of the population, maybe more than half of the population, garbage. And that just, I don't know. I just thought if his goal was to damage the campaign that Kamala was running, he would, that's the kind of thing he would do. That's the kind of thing someone would do, anybody would do. Start from that level insulting voters. So I just thought, wow, that one took me by surprise. At Halloween, Jill Biden wore a panda costume. There are a lot of people, especially on the right, who know what the symbolism of the panda is. So I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to talk about it here. I will just say that I know you are very smart and very capable, and you can Google panda eyes. And I'm just going to give you a warning now to brace yourself. It's about children, so just brace yourself on that one. And I did see a video of a guy who helps homeless people. And so he always films himself, like, especially if he goes into the home of somebody who's like down and out, and he always films. He wears a body cam and everything for his own protection. And he was in somebody's house, and he was just talking about, like, what do they need? What's the situation? And, you know, blah, 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 their story of poverty and addiction and everything else that goes in it. And then all of a sudden a child came into the room, and I saw the video of the child, because he kept that moment in there. And I understand that a lot of people would say, you must protect the child. Don't put the video of the child out, except that what he saw on this child's face. And he handed the video over to the authorities. So we're just going to leave that topic there. But it was a very interesting choice, given everything that's going on the right, to wear a panda costume for Halloween. An interesting choice. Now, there are people who are malicious, and there are people who are stupid. I don't know which they are, right? They could have been very intentional with everything I've just spoken about, or they could just be so oblivious that they have no idea that the panda means something, and it's not cool. It's not a good thing. And I'm not saying don't like pandas. I'm not saying, but for the at that level of society, that level of politics, the leader of the free world, as they would say, his wife wearing a panda costume got people talking. It got people wondering what was going on, and if they were actually trying to send a message and perhaps sabotage the Democratic Party after the way that they treated Joe Biden, because there was something going on. I don't know who the man was who gave that speech last week after the election. Not sure who that guy is, because we haven't seen him for a long time. We've seen the decline of Joe Biden. It's unfortunate. It's sad. My husband constantly says that's elder abuse, that what they're doing to him, keeping him there. I think a lot of people could see what was going on, except for some reason, Democratic voters thought he was. I've had an American friend who's a Democrat say to me that Joe Biden is the strongest leader this country's had in decades. And I was shocked. I was like, this man doesn't know who he is. I'm not sure that he knows he's the president. Like, when he's talking, and we saw the debate with Donald Trump earlier this year, and it was really unfortunate. And then, of course, after the debate, there was the palace coup, and they pulled him out and replaced him with Kamala without any democratic process. So we definitely, I think, if there was going to be some bad feelings and I was going to try to sabotage Kamala, I would probably do the kinds of things that Joe and Jill Biden did. But it's been on my mind. I've been curious about it. So let's read about it today. I did give the deck a really good shuffle before I started, but because these cards are really big, and there's always a chance they're going to go flying across the table because I can barely hold them, I thought, you know what? We'll just do one or two shuffles here on camera, and the rest of it was shuffled prior to me turning on the camera. Bad choices. Yeah, I think there's been a lot of bad choices made. Absolutely. There's been some pretty interesting choices. Oh, you know what just came in? You know that moment in Pretty Woman when Julia Roberts goes shopping with Richard Gere's credit card, and none of the stores will serve her because obviously, she's a prosie, and they can tell she wasn't their kind. And when she's standing outside the store holding up the shopping bag saying, big mistake, big mistake. That's the energy here. It's as though the Bidens bided their time and we're like, big mistake, big mistake. Oh, that's so interesting. Running away. Running away. Interesting. Okay, we're going to leave that one there while we'll see what comes in for that one. New beginning. Well, obviously it's a new beginning for everybody. The Bidens now get to retire and go sit on the beach and eat ice cream. So that's exciting for them. And Kamala gets to go do whatever Kamala does. I don't even know what she did before this, so I don't know what she'll do. You know, I've always said, it's so funny because people think, you know, oh, you know, we like Kamala. I'm like, I like her too. I think she's a lot of fun at parties. I think that, you know, anytime somebody's like, let's go for a boozy lunch, she's like, I am there. You know, I bet she is just a great time. I bet she's a lot of fun. But that's not enough to run a country. And a lot of people, you know, felt the same way. So but there's a new beginning here, obviously. Oh, yeah. Spirit sometimes takes a minute to tap in. Running away, almost like the Bidens are running away from the party. Because the question is, did they vote for Trump? To stick it to Kamala? Did they vote for Trump? Interesting. Interesting. Running away from the party. Caught. Finding evidence, getting caught, cheating. All right, you know, I'm going to pull out a new tool. This is what I bought with the October tips that were in my tip jar. And these are called, I'll show you the whole bowl. I got this cute little bowl at the dollar store. Isn't it sweet? And they're called Telltale Tokens. And I do have a cheat sheet. I printed up cheat sheets of all the meanings of them because there's 144 and I didn't have time to memorize them all. And I got these on Etsy. This came from a company called Eye of the Beholder, and it came with this super cute little charm and of course a vinyl sticker. Anybody who knows me knows I love crows. I have crows all over my house, and of course I'm constantly trying to forge an alliance with the Crow Queen in my backyard. So I thought this was super lovely to come with the Telltale Tokens. So I kind of want to know a little bit about this. So we're going to put a couple tokens here. 127, Aquarius, I know. The energy of Aquarius is I know. And 92 is, oh, shark. Wow. Wow. So the shark is unseen danger and predator. You know what? I think that they knew that that the Bidens knew that the party preyed on them, especially Joe Biden. That what happened there should never have happened. All of it, all 4 years of it should never have happened. I don't mean they shouldn't have been elected. I just mean like the way he was being treated and all of that should not have happened. And the number 30 is the gift box, which is a gift, a surprise. I think something went on in the background of this. He heard something. Oh, he overheard a conversation and took it as a gift. Like, this is exactly what we needed. And then that I know energy. So he knew. They figured it out and they knew what was going on. Because I think that the Bidens themselves were an entity and then everybody else. Like, I think that he was blocked from a lot of things and he wasn't being told, and her as well. Not that I think they're the most wonderful people in the world, but you know, he was president and that it really should not have gone the way it went. Let's pull a couple for expecting and see what comes out here. So we have 121 is Leo. I will. Yeah, I will. It's it's the feeling that's coming in is that they sat on this for a long time before they started making their moves. And there were subtle moves that, you know, maybe a lot of people didn't notice. Like maybe a lot of people wouldn't clock that she wore red to vote. I did. Immediately was like, she might as well just finish off the outfit with a red MAGA hat, right? 56 is wedding bells. Connection of two people. Connection of two people. I think it was the two of them. By the end, it was the two of them against everybody else in the White House and in the party. Yeah. And then number 15 is the devil. Lower nature, temptation and trappings of the material world. I wonder if somebody was getting paid off. Now, this is not my, I'm not going to say this is my opinion. I'm just going to say this is what a lot of people talk about, is that the left, there's a lot of Satanism. So the devil showing up is kind of interesting. I can neither confirm nor deny, so I'll just toss in there, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. We're just reading pretty cards and telling stories. So that is kind of interesting to have that come out. Interesting. Love story, once upon a time. Taking us right back to this, this partnership, our wedding bells here. These two sat on something for a while. And let's see here. Yes. That's, yeah, yes. 107 is just yes. And this is a stadium. And I think it's it's 115. The world stage prominent events. I think they really solidified their partnership, that they, you know, adversity will do that, right? There's nothing that pulls people together more than adversity and people fighting against you. You know, it's us against the world, right? So yeah, I think they just got stronger, and being on a world stage, being, you know, this obviously big prominent event, they knew they had a nation captured, and everybody was watching and paying attention. So when they, anything they did, they knew people would see and they would analyze and draw conclusions. Interesting. Very interesting. And our jack-o'-lantern is about protection from evil spirits and Halloween, which is, I mean, the election took place a few days after Halloween. So yeah, even if we're just looking at that from a timing perspective, yeah, there it is right there. And protection from evil spirits. I wonder if Joe Biden and Jill Biden have decided they want out of this world. They don't want to do this anymore because it's probably really harmful putting on a show. Yeah, they did put on a show for everybody. They I think that they put on a show with the whatever was going on with Joe Biden for the last few years. I mean, his cognitive decline was so dramatic, but then last week he sounds like old Joe Biden. So what's going on there? I know I hear the rumors about what may have happened. I hear the speculation about what's going on now as opposed to what was going on before. So we'll see what comes out. Private relationship. Let's explore that with the tokens. 105 is the guardian angel, heavenly protection. 122 is Virgo, I analyze. And then 72 is got my other sheet. There's so many of these little tokens that takes up 4 pages. It's being inauthentic and dramatic behavior. I think that the cognitive decline Biden is not the authentic Biden. And I think he saw the writing on the wall. I mean, who knows what's going to happen with Trump and this Hunter Biden, but I think Joe saw the writing on the wall And really what's coming in right now is he got religious. If he was a Republican, I would say he strengthened his relationship with God. But because he's a Democrat, and I don't know that Democrats are Christian or religious or believe in any of that, I just don't want to say he's, he turned to God in all of this, because I don't know if he believes in God. I don't know if that is part of his makeup. But certainly it feels like he turned to something, a power greater than himself. And I don't mean that in the like AA thing, but just he realized that he needed to get some spiritual guidance, perhaps. That's definitely what's coming through there. And we have tired of drama. Yeah, I can imagine, Joe. I bet you're sick of it. I bet Jill's real done with it too. Just the drama of everything. Can you imagine what their life looked like from that debate to the day of the election? Can you just imagine the hell they went through, that they were probably put through, and then also went through because of the way the Kamala thing all unfolded? And let's be honest, like, whether we like her or not, if she asked me to go out drinking with her, I would go. Okay, this is not about whether we like her or not. This is about electing somebody who's actually capable of running a country. And she ran on issues that are not, they're not universal issues. And also the people that she thought would vote for her they're not interested in those issues. So it was almost as though they just didn't know their voters. So I can imagine that Joe Biden took a beating a lot for the way things were going. And now he's taking a beating. Basically, the Democratic Party is saying that it's his fault that she lost. And, I saw a woman on one of the talk shows or something. I don't watch TV, so I see it all on YouTube, saying that it was uneducated white women who cost Kamala the election. So yeah, everybody's getting the blame for everything, but I think he's just sick of it. He's just done. And Jill especially is like, we're out, we're done, let's go, we're done. Anger management. Yeah, I bet there's a lot of angry people in the White House right now. Well, we know that. We know that because their representatives are all over the media right now having meltdowns and ragers and crying and screaming and everything else. So, and I'm not saying don't do that. By all means, process your emotions. I often tell my clients, if you need to, go out to a field and scream till you feel better. But the fact that it's being put on, it's like being all put on the media and social media constantly. This is emotional dysregulation over the issue. Tantric sex, I don't know. This is a really fascinating deck of cards. The fake apology. Let's see what that's about. Fake apology. Oh, yeah. My guides just told me, yeah, they did everything strategically and intentionally, but what they're doing is they're like, oh my God, we've messed up. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. I didn't even think. I wasn't, yeah, like it's coming out like I just blurted the word garbage out. I didn't mean it. Like it's just all fake apologies because they meant it. They did mean it. Who could blame them, right, at this point? So our skull and crossbones is about endings and letting go of attachment. So this is the ending for Joe Biden and Jill Biden. They will move on and go do other things, but this is the end. They'll never do politics again. That's that. They may talk about politics, but they're never going to do politics again. And they should probably stay well away. I balance. Oh, that is really interesting. So this is Libra. I balance. That's really, really interesting because, like, it could be said that, and I'm just making this up, it could be said that what he did was to balance what Kamala was doing. And that's just my own personal thought there, as I think what was he balancing? Perhaps that. And then 132 is our black cat. Mystery and magic, good or bad luck, superstition, and anarchy. There we have it, my friends. They went rogue. They did their own things. There was a little bit of anarchy behind the scenes and in their subtle movements and everything else. So yeah, I would say from this reading, it does look as though they were doing things intentionally. We'll just ignore all the sex ones because we know those two aren't having sex. Already knowing the tea. Yeah. Somebody said something and they figured it out. They knew what was going on and they plotted their revenge. Trash. We're going to end there. We're going to end there. There we go. That was it. They take, the garbage comment. And what has Donald Trump been saying? We're going to take out the trash, which is, it's a little bit crass, but, he did say he would drain the swamp, and he did. So there we have it. I think there's a lot of stuff going on in the White House. I think there's a lot of stuff. My husband always says that the left will they just consume themselves. And we see it, that the blaming has started already. The moment the election was announced, the infighting started, as they all started blaming each other. And no one's ever going to blame themselves. No one's ever going to say, I think we got it wrong. At least Van Johnson has said, I think I figured out how we lost this election. But taking out the trash. I'm not saying the Bidens are trash. I'm just saying the whole system is trash. The whole thing is garbage. The whole thing is rotten to the core at every level. I see it in my own municipal politics, right up through county politics, provincial. It's so messed up that, I think that there is a lot of garbage in Washington. And if you understand, I've really spent a lot of years learning about how it all works. And if you understand how it works, you understand there's the democratic process and fair debates and things like that. They just don't happen. Not anymore. There's so much corruption. Let's just call this corruption instead of trash. I just feel like trash is just too harsh a word, but corruption. And so we'll see what happens over the next 4 years. Yeah, but I sort of get the sense this is not a hard, yes, definitive, but there's a lot of signs here that they knew what was going on and they plotted their revenge and they did some stuff that would harm Kamala just to say, I'm going to stick it to you. So there we have it. Let me know what you think in the comments now that you've heard what I think. And don't forget to check out my other videos. My links and my email are all in the description of this video. Don't forget to click subscribe and leave a comment and let me know that you were here, and let me know what you think. Were they doing it intentionally, or was it all just accidental because, they're old and feeble and have Alzheimer's or something? Let me know. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Have a magical day.